Well, good afternoon, guys and gals. So for those of you who were with me last summer, you'll remember that we propagated this Triple Crown thornless Blackberry, and it was a fun video. We got massive amounts of roots out of this thing. I showed you how to propagate Blackberry. We're headed into summer, in fact, and for those of you guys who have Blackberries and want to propagate them, now is a perfect time to do that. So if you want to check out that video, go click on the link in the description below and it'll take you right there. But the question I got was, hey Mike, I want an update. I want to know how that little Blackberry cutting, or well, it wasn't really a cutting, it was a layer. I want to know how it's doing now this year. Well, I'm going to oblige you. Now this was that parent plant that we got that rooted layer off of, and it's in a 3-gallon pot right now. But before I show you that little rooted layer, I'm going to tease you a little bit here because I want to talk to you about something. Now, here's the thing. You guys may be saying all Blackberries look the same. You know, thornless, as long as it's thornless, it's going to look just like this one. How do we know that that's the real layer that you took off of this plant? Well, if you remember, we took that plant, this one right here, see how it's still leaning over? We bent it over and stuck it right into the fir bark. And that sucker rooted. And if you'll remember, those buds, when we turned it over, were turned upside down. So I told you in that video that those buds that were pointing down are going to eventually turn and come back up towards the light. And that's exactly what happened. Now that we're in June 9th, I think, today, we've got this guy starting to put on green growth, and those little buds turned around and pointed straight back up. And I'm going to show it to you right now. And here it is. Look at that little beauty. This is that one with the massive roots. We stuck all those roots in the pot. I was a little worried about it because I washed them off for you, but this plant was not harmed in the filming of that video. And look at that. Look at all that green growth. And this is what's going to prove it to you guys. If you've just got a little bit of imagination here, you'll see, look at that. That little bud right there is pointing down, and it turned around and it's now growing upright. Can you see that? Because, and I'm going to show you this on the other plant. This part right here, this was a little branch to a leaf. This part right here should be on the bottom side. It should be underneath this little growth right here, but it's not. It's on top because we turned this guy and pointed it straight down in the soil. So that's one little branch right there, but if you follow it down, all of them are doing the same thing. Let's see here. You can see that that branch came out from above where the bud was. That is not the way nature works. That branch should have been below the bud. The bud grows on top of it. And so these guys are all growing down, turning around, and coming back up. And I'm going to show you right now. See that? Once again, I'm going to show you from this side. This little guy right here is on top of that new growth, on top of the bud. Here is a normal growing Blackberry plant. This branch is below the bud and it's growing straight up the way it should. If we put the pieces of the puzzle together and just connect the dots, there it is. Oh, there it is, guys. Look at that. Oh, boom. And that's where we severed the plant. That's exactly what we did. We just turned it around, stuck it right down in the soil. That guy rooted and now it's upside down here. But his little buds, even that one's starting, his little buds are all just turning around and they're coming right back up towards the light. So despite the fact that we tortured this little guy by washing all the roots off so you could see what was in there, it's still doing really well. It's bounced back just fine. It's got lots of roots. I don't see anything right yet out. Oh, yep, I sure do. Just starting to poke through the bottom. Look at that. You see it? Little tiny root in there. And there's actually a couple on the other side too. But even despite torturing this little guy, it's bounced back, it's grown lots of roots, and it's starting to put on green growth. This is going to be a beautiful little Blackberry plant, and not just any Blackberry, a thornless Triple Crown Blackberry. I'm going to get this one planted out in our orchard. I'll show you guys that one later. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the update on what we did last summer. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to follow along and see follow-ups of all of this. Have a fantastic week, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Adios.